Hey guys, I'm Ryan.
I'm Adam.
And this is Two Neighbors. So Adam, what are we checking out today?
All right, Ryan, we're doing a little very special request today. This is requested by M. Monroe. So M. Monroe, thank you very much for your request. They requested Neil deGrasse Tyson explains big numbers.
Alright.
All right, so you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
I do, yeah, he does all like the space explanation. He's a scientist.
He's a
right?
scientist.
Yeah.
He's a scientist. So this is quite a lengthy one. This is about 18 minutes. So I'm sure we're going to learn something about, something to do with science.
I would think. Probably something to do with big numbers.
Probably something to do with big numbers. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, Two Neighbors. It takes 2 seconds. And don't forget to turn on that little bell for notifications because we post content every single day. And please also check out okanswag.com, punch in Two Neighbors in the coupon code at checkout, and you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and pay no tax on some sweet Canadian swag. Now shipping to Canada and the USA. All right, Ryan, without further ado.
Cool.
Jack.
Hey Neil,
We got another explainer video to do.
I do enjoy the explainers.
You like them? That's very nice.
I do, because I learn things.
Okay, that's good.
We like that too. We like that.
Yes.
Big numbers.
Okay.
Let's work our way there. Okay, 'cause
All right.
I don't think people appreciate how big astronomically large numbers are. Okay, of course, astronomical as an adjective is reserved for big things and big uncountable quantities. Okay,
Right.
There's a reason for that, and I want to elucidate this for you. First, we have to introduce exponential notation.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the number 10 raised to a power.
Right.
Right, so 10 to the third power is 10 times 10 times 10,
Right.
which is 1,000.
Right.
So 10 to the third power is 1,000. 10 to the fourth power is 10,000. 10 to the fifth power is 100,000. 10 to the sixth power, it's a 1 with 6 zeros, that's a million.
Million.
Okay, are we together?
We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
These
right.
are all the dream numbers of my bank account. I have no problem relating to this.
All right, so the number 1,000 is pretty familiar to us all. The populations of most cities is numbered in the thousands, 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, this sort of thing. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So 1,000 times 1,000, now we're at 10 to the sixth power, that's a million.
Right.
The largest cities in the world are measured in millions. Okay, I'm native of New York City. We're 8.5 million or something, such as that today. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So we go from 1,000 times 1,000 gets to a million.
Right.
Times another 1,000, we add another 3 zeros, we get to what?
Billion.
Billion.
A billion.
1,000 million. We have 1,000 million, and that gives us a billion.
That gives you a billion. That's correct.
That gives you a fraction of Jeff
so that's
Bezos.
Carl Sagan's favorite number. Okay, let's say billions. That's his favorite number. It shows up a lot in astronomy. Okay,
Right.
there are between 2 and 400 billion stars in our galaxy. There might be as many as 100 billion galaxies in the universe. That billion shows up a lot. Okay, well, let's try to further understand this. Okay, so how much money does Jeff Bezos have?
127
I
million.
think he's worth
Billion.
80-something billion.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
let's
he's
round it to
100, did he?
100 billion. Okay, so
He's a
now
little bit
Here we
older.
go.
He's at like 130
suppose I
now.
had 100 billion $1 bills.
All right.
Okay, and
I would be your friend for life.
Low life.
So what can I do with $100 billion bills? Well, I can
Cure
take
world
them
hunger.
and put them end to end, and I can go around the Earth 200 times.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot.
200 times. Wait, but I have some leftover money. Okay.
You still have money left over?
Yes, okay.
Damn.
Okay, so now I'm going to put them vertically and see how high they go. Well, with what's left over after you went around the world 200 times, you can go vertically to the moon and back
Wow.
10 times.
10 times.
10
In
times.
addition to going around.
200 around the Earth.
No, 200 times.
Wait,
Two
you were going
and
around
back
the Earth
to the moon.
200 times.
Yes.
And then, with the money left over,
Left over.
Left
now you,
over.
Now you stack the
Now you can
vertically
go
up to the moon and back 10 times.
and back.
Moon and back 10
10
times.
Correct.
Yo, that's insane.
Correct.
So my mattress money got me to the moon and back. That's
Okay. Other things. McDonald's used to keep track of how many hamburgers they sold. Do you remember this?
Yes.
If old timers
Over
remember.
1 billion
Up to 12 billion, 30 billion, 50. Then he just gave up, and you know what they say now?
Billions.
Billions and billions.
Billions served.
billions and billions.
Okay, so let's go up by another factor of 1,000. From a billion, which is 9 zeros, to
Trillion?
now we go to 12 zeros. So billion, we have by. What would come after by?
Try.
But try.
He's trying.
So 10 to the 12th power is a trillion. Okay? About a trillion seconds have passed since cave dwellers painted on cave walls. Okay, here's why that's significant. Because you can actually count to a billion in your lifetime. And I celebrated my billionth second. I don't know if you did, but I celebrated my billionth second. I don't know where you were.
Yeah, I was either. I'll tell you this much: I missed it like that.
Live your billionth second between your 31st year and your 32nd year of life. So I counted that out, and I had a little sip of champagne, and that was my billionth second. So if you counted one number per second for every second you're alive, and don't sleep, and you can do it in 31 years. So how long will it take to count to a trillion?
1,000 times that?
Let's see. You need another 1,000.
It's 1,000 times that.
Enough, right?
30,000 years.
This guy.
32,000 years.
So you're not gonna make it.
1,000 times 31 years to get there. How long is that? 31,000 years.
1,000. Yeah. There you go.
So if you want to give a kid a task, because they're, your kids, count to a trillion.
Count to a trillion. There you go. And better yet, just make it a billion and see them and keep them going for 30 years. I'm so bored. Count to a billion.
So let's go up another factor of 1,000. So we go from billion, trillion, that's 12 zeros. So what would be the next number if we keep
Gazillion?
Quadrillion.
Has 9, 12, 15 zeros. That's
This
a
is
one.
inconceivable.
I'm getting there. We have no inconceivable yet. So 15 zeros. That's 1,000 times bigger than a trillion.
Okay.
Okay? A quadrillion, about 100 quadrillion, I calculated this, is the estimated number of sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived.
Say that again, because that was a weird thing you just said.
Okay.
All words, not just your words. All words ever said.
Words and sounds.
Quadrillion.
Is about the estimated number of sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived.
That doesn't include flatulence stuff.
And I had to have a separate term for congressional filibusters. They're in there too. So you want to get a sense of the scale of these numbers. I'm just putting it in context here, in a cosmic perspective. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So we now have a number 1,000 times bigger than all the words ever uttered. So we went from a trillion, a billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion.
Quintillion.
So that's a 1 with 18 zeros.
That's Jeff Bezos' account in 2 years.
That's about the number of grains of sand on an average beach.
Oh, just one beach. Wow.
Just one beach. Just one. Well, just next time you go to a beach, just pick up a handful of sand and just look at it.
Yeah.
And then the sand is deep and it goes into the water a bit and it comes out and it's wide. So you do the volumes. You figure that out. So that's how you get a quintillion grains of sand.
Wow.
On an average beach. Okay, but we're not done. I'm not done with you, Jeff. Okay.
Listen.
Can you handle the truth? Can you handle it?
I don't even know. I can't. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's just, go ahead. Okay.
And keep in mind, we left Jeff Bezos long ago.
He's coming. He's coming quick.
I'm telling you, this guy's broke. I wouldn't even stop to rob him on the
Let's go now 1,000 times bigger than a quintillion. Okay, so quintillion was 10 to the 18th power, 1 with 18 zeros. Now we're talking about 1 with 21 zeros. Okay,
21 zeros.
that has a name. Next up, sextillion.
Sextillions.
1 with 21 zeros. That is the estimated number of stars in the universe.
A sextillion.
In
Yes.
our universe.
Say yes.
Well,
So
the
that's
universe.
The
1,000
universe.
times larger than the number of grains of sand on a beach.
That's insane.
Which is itself 1,000 times larger than all the sounds and words ever uttered. Actually, it's about 10 times larger than the sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived. You can take that all the way down. So these are factors larger.
The story for
Not just
other
any
life
of the
is looking pretty good now, right?
factors of-
Yeah, for
But
sure.
let's keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not done with you. 10 to the 23rd power. You met that number in your chemistry class in high school. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. That's a mole in chemistry. Okay, and a mole is how many particles of a substance occupy a specified mass of that substance. Okay,
Gotcha.
a mole.
I know.
Okay? And so there are vessels that contain moles of things. 10 to the 23rd molecules. So here you go. You ready? Do you realize there are more molecules of water in a glass of water than there are glasses of water in all the world's oceans?
What?
There are more molecules of water in a glass of water than there are glasses of water in the entire volume of water in the world.
Correct. Okay?
You know what? I'm going to drink to that.
Okay, so wait. Not only that, there are more molecules of air in a single breath of air than there are breaths of air in all the world's atmosphere.
Wow.
Okay, so what this means, that's not just
Who finds this shit out?
Neil
What this
Tyson.
means is when I drink a glass of water, and then it comes out of me 7 different ways, okay? Sweat it, spit it, pee, all of this. It goes back into the environment.
Okay, this
There-
has gotten really disgusting.
There are enough molecules that I have just expelled to repopulate all the world's water supply with some of the molecules that were in the glass that I just drank.
So here's what we've learned, people. When you drink a glass of water, you're drinking Neil deGrasse Tyson spit.
No, given enough time, it has to remix into the
course.
world. Of course. Get a character from long enough ago, whoever your hero is. Is it Socrates? Is it Joan of Arc? Is it Jesus? Just go far enough back in time.
At some
and
point, there's
you
a
can
little bit of them in you.
Correct. You, in the glass of water you drink, there is water molecules that pass through the kidneys of Jesus. There are air molecules that were breathed by Genghis Khan. And so in that way, we are deeply connected in the fluids we consume and in the air we breathe.
That is so cool.
That's very
That is
deep.
one of the coolest facts we have ever divulged on this show.
And you can get
Now-
that with 10 to the 23 molecules scattered back into the atmosphere or into the waters of the world.
It's all about a mole. Now, how do we take that and find out how we recycle Jeff Bezos' money into my bank account?
They're really going with this Jeff Bezos
That
thing.
equation
Yes.
immediately.
Please do.
So working up from the mole, we get to 10 to the 81st power. If you multiply all the stars and times all the molecules and particles they're made of, you get 10 to the 81 power,
Multiply
which
them
is
now.
the sum of all particles that comprise the observable universe.
That's cool.
Now you can ask, why would anyone need a number bigger than this?
I was going to say,
There's more than the unknown universe.
Yeah.
beyond that.
Beyond that to count. Yes.
Right.
There
What
is.
is there to count beyond that?
Okay, but that doesn't stop mathematicians. So there's a number, a 1 with 100 zeros, nice round, there'd be 10 to the 100th power. That's called a Googol. The company took that word, messed up the spelling of it, and they became the first time most people even ever heard the pronunciation of such a thing.
googolplex.
1 with 100 zeros. That is 10 to the 19th power larger than the number of particles in the entire universe.
God.
That's All right. So what's the use of that? Well, we'll get there. Okay. How about a number that dwarfs the Googol? Well, how would you write out a Googol? You put a 1 and the 100 zeros, right? That's
Okay.
what 10 to the 100th power means. There's a number that dwarfs the Googol. That's 10 to the Googol power.
And is that called a Yahoo?
It's called an AOL.
To the Googol power is a 1 with a Googol zeros, and that's called the googolplex.
Oh, sweet.
The googolplex. Now, here's the problem with the googolplex. How many zeros does it have if you were to write it out?
Trillion
More
zeros.
zeros than, let's see.
The first one was 100
More
zeros.
Then it
So
would
1,000
take
zeros?
your child
No, I
to
think
write
it's gonna
out
be-
after you sent
Or
it.
Because it's to the power of
100,000
Count to
zeros.
a billion.
There's a Google.
So if 10 to the 100th is a Googol,
Yeah.
and it's a 1 with 100 zeros, then 10 to the Googol power is a 1 with how many zeros?
A billion.
Oh, I have no idea.
It has a Googol zeros.
Yeah, Google.
Oh,
If what's in the exponent is how many zeros you have,
Basically,
Right.
close to an infinite amount of
21 had
zeros.
21 zeros.
Glad someone knows what
81 had 81
talking
zeros.
about.
10 to the 100th, Googol has 100 zeros. 10 to the Googol is a 1 with a Googol zeros. That's a googolplex. Here's my point. If a googolplex has a Googol zeros in it,
Right.
there are not enough particles in the universe upon which you would write the zeros
couldn't do it.
just
Yeah.
to express that number.
it's too many zeros.
For a Googolplex.
To
Because
be
it's-
written
To be
out
written.
in full
in-
form
in-
in the universe. That's correct. If you
Not
put-
enough
if you put
particles
a
in the universe to write a
on
Googolplex.
every particle in the universe,
You don't have, you
You-
run out of room to
you
write the
run-
Googolplex.
correct.
That's insane.
That
That's
is insane.
Completely insane. It's the googolplex.
It's mind blowing.
It's a big number.
So Googolplex exists only in theory.
So we went through all this to say it's a big number.
It's a big number. That's what the session is about, Chuck. Big numbers. Did you get the rhythm
Here
of this
we
yet?
go, full circle, and we're full circle. Big
Okay.
numbers.
All right. So now, why do you have big numbers at all? Because you're no longer counting things. You're counting, in one use of them, you're counting events. So, for example, there is a number that dwarfs the googolplex. It's called Skewes number. It's 10 to the 10th to the 10th to the 34th power. It's called Skewes number.
Okay.
Now that number dwarfs the googolplex, and you can only write it this way with these sort of exponents up there, okay?
Because there's not enough room in the universe to write it any other way.
Right. Exactly. Okay. That's about the total number of combinations of how you would orient the matter in the universe.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
for example, if I take a molecule within you and swap it with a molecule in me, that's a configuration of the universe. I take something from Alpha Centauri and swap it with Omega Ceti 5, which is a fictional place from Star Trek. Swap those atoms, that's another config. Swap 10 atoms here and there, that's another configuration. It's the number of combinations of particle configurations in the universe.
All right, that is pretty cool.
Right. Again, you're not counting things, you're counting events. It's like asking how many possible chess games are there,
Right.
right? Chess only has, 32 pieces in it and 64 squares,
Right.
all right?
Shuffling of a deck of cards.
So there you have it, Chuck. I just wanted to give you a sense of what big numbers are. And whatever is the big number you thought the big number was, there are bigger numbers than that.
Numbers in that. Right.
Right. And
Well,
for
what
me,
I have
He's lost.
Jeff Bezos isn't as rich as I thought.
he's a broke.
He's broke.
Broke.
So, Chuck, there you have it. The cosmic perspective of big numbers.
Sweet. Yes.
All right. This has been another explainer video from Star Talk, and I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bidding.
Thanks, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Really appreciate it. Wow.
I like this stuff.
That was mind expanding
Yeah.
to the power of
10.
10
To the power of a Google.
to the power of the Google, which is then the power of the Google.
Yeah.
Man, that's mind blowing. Did you guys keep up with that? I don't know.
He does some really cool stuff, and one of the ones I watched, which basically shows like how massive the sun is, but how small it is in relation to just other stars in the universe, and it's like really mind-boggling. Because to put it to scale, it basically, the sun is massive, and then they show the next scale, and it's like a little dot compared to the biggest thing, and then they take that biggest thing, and then it's a dot compared.
Right.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
like, it's pretty incredible.
We're just like a
and
little blip.
because of how like the sun is drawn a lot in school. People don't realize you could fit 1 million Earths into the sun.
Yeah, no,
which
it's
is
massive.
mind-boggling.
I mean, it's a star, right? It's
Yeah.
a massive star.
Yeah.
So, thank you, M. Monroe, for your request. We really do appreciate it. It was a great educational video, and we do love educational videos here on Two Neighbors. It's always good to learn. So thank you very much. Mind blown with this Neil deGrasse Tyson. Guys, if you have any suggestions for videos similar to this, hashtag my request down below in the comment section with the URL link, and we will do our best to get to that video. And don't forget to check out okanswag.com, punch in Two Neighbors in the coupon code at checkout, and you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and pay no tax on some sweet Canadian swag, now shipping in Canada, the US. Ryan?
Yep. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't done it yet, like, share, and subscribe. When you hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on the bell for notifications. We post new content every single day.
And that's it for our show. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you next time.
Later, guys.